Today on the Crit House, we welcome Ashley Stohl, a photographer based in both Los Angeles and New York. Ashley is the co-founder of Peanut Press, an independent photobook publisher. Her photography explores themes of family and community. Her perspective is shaped by her experiences as a mother, viewing the world through a personal and intimate lens. Ashley's photo books, Charth Vader and Days and Years, have captivated audiences worldwide. Today, on the Crit House, we discuss Ashley Stohl's creative influences from her uncle, Bruce Leonard, Hugh Holland, Bill Owens, Lee Friedlander, and Stephen Shore. Ashley Stohl, it's a pleasure to have you here on the Crit House. Thank you for joining us. You are a founder of Peanut Press. You're a photographer and a publisher, and you're bi-coastal as well between West Coast and East Coast. You're in Connecticut now, I believe. Is that right?
I am.
Yeah. Well, so we're here to talk about five images, but let's talk maybe a little bit about you as a photographer and as a publisher. When people ask you what you do, what do you tell them? Because I know you have a show coming up, and we'll talk about that in a second. But who are you, and what are you as a photographer?
Oh, that's a big question. Who am I? I'm a photographer. I don't know. When people ask me what I do, I say I'm a photographer, and then they say, "What kind of photography?" And I go, uh, fine art and documentary
There you
with
go.
like a question mark. I take pictures that make me happy. I take pictures that I want to take.
And that's the way it should be, right? That's great.
Yeah.
Tell us about the show that you have coming up down in Miami.
Yeah, I have a show at Leica Miami, and I'm really excited about it. September 27th is the opening, and I'll be doing a talk there and a book signing. And it's my work about Los Angeles. The project is called Disappear Here, which comes from a quote from Less Than Zero, the sort of ultimate LA book of my generation. And it's about the kind of changing face of LA and all the places of my childhood memories that are disappearing, many of which have disappeared since I photographed them.
So we've asked you to come on the program and talk about five images that have somehow influenced you. And I try not to be too specific with people about here's what we want you to choose, but what are the images, or why did you choose the images you chose to talk about?
Yeah, it's a hard open-ended question to pick 5 images. What I chose to do because of the nature of, your videos, was kind of my, like, villain origin story, my how the some images that were pivotal to me in becoming a photographer and kind of knowing who I am as a photographer.
By the way, let me just ask this: this is your grandfather,
That's right.
and his name is Bruce Leonard, but is usually
No, my uncle is Bruce Leonard. He still is a photographer. He was a, photographer in high school, and this is him taking a picture of my grandfather in the house he grew up in and the house I grew up in. And, we had in our house I was raised by my grandparents, and we had all of these photo albums that were numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would sit there and look at them. And I feel like instead of going to art school, I just was bored in the 80s with no internet and sat there and looked at these photo books. And I could look at certain pictures forever. And this is one of them. I have this up on my wall in my house. Um, and, it's possible Bruce would like it back. But yeah, there's something about it to me that is like, I love this era of photography, and I love that it's funny and it's meaningful to me. I think you'll see a theme today, but a lot of people take fine art photography really seriously, and we always say there's no smiling in fine art. And I think there can be smiling, and I think there can be humor for it to be meaningful and important.
So you referred to the era of this, but it's interesting because there's not an awful lot that like speaks about the specific era. This could be This could be the 50s, and this could be the 2000s in black and white. When was this taken?
Yeah, this was probably the 60s. It's very, the palm tree behind him, like it's very LA of a certain era, but it's also could be LA right now, depending on the place.
Your second image from Hugh Holland. Talk about this and why this is here.
Okay, we're moving from LA in the 60s to, let's say, LA in the late 70s. Hugh Holland was a photographer of the like Dogtown era, the skateboarding sort of revolution in LA. And these guys used to come to the elementary school that I went to, and they were terrifying. I would roller skate in this big yard after school. They would skateboard. This picture is a little before my time, but so this is literally, I live around the corner from this school. And this also is such an iconic kind of LA style to me. The like warm light, every place has a light that is its own. This is very LA light. These are LA people. It reminds me of being a kid and going to Venice Beach with my roller skates and seeing like the big kids skateboarding. Um, it's it's my childhood, and it's also, I think, a really cool photo. There's a story that a gallery told me. I don't know if you can see, there's like a little sunspot, like a lens flare sort of thing around the skater in the top right corner.
That's one of the things that makes the photograph for me is that sunspot.
And they didn't believe that that naturally happened and made him show them the actual piece of film. They thought that must have been done in the lab. And it's just such a great sort of intuitive, like you can feel being out there with the guys.
Well, I can definitely feel the nostalgia in this one as well. Your third image from Bill Owens.
Yeah, part of why I love this is the is the writing, I have to admit. It's a wild party and we're having a great time. And I don't know if these people are in on the joke, and I don't know if Bill Owens is in on the joke, although I think he is. I love a picture with like a million things going on. So like these people are posing for one picture with their Christmas tree. Everyone else is dancing. There's a guy in the mustache in the back. I love the style of it all. Like it's not formally composed. It's not stiff. It's just fun and everybody's being who they are. Like for me, I love portraits. I love photographing people, and the more I can get people to have a kind of natural moment, which as I'm saying that, I'm thinking not all my photographs are like that. The Charth Vader series isn't like that, but I love getting something natural and sincere out of people. That to me is what this is. These people are just really happy about their like suburban Christmas party, New Year's Eve party, whatever this is. It's funny and fun to me, you know? Like not funny in a mocking these people way, but funny as in we're all laughing, we're all having a good time. I think my friends will tell you when I'm photographing them, if I'm laughing, like the photo's going to turn out, like we're going to get something out of it. If we're all having a good time, why not have fun while you're doing it? We're all photographers, we're all visual people, and it's nice to sit with an image. That's what I used to do with those family photo albums, is just sit there and look at them forever. Like there's a whole story in every picture. And maybe joke's even the wrong word, but there's some humor, there's some levity in this.
Yeah, it is, but it's also not, it's not levity that's like and you said it before, it's not levity that's making fun of them. It's
Not
showing
at all.
it's showing the humor of the situation, and like, yeah, like you said, maybe they are in it. Maybe Bill's isn't, but there's humor in this.
There is, and it's such an era. Like you can see, like those are like cottage cheese ceilings and the light fixture and the like. It says so much about a time,
I
and
I used
I
to
don't
have
know. I
one of
just
those
love it.
stashes. I used to have one of those stashes too.
Did you? We need more parties with dancing in the living room.
I miss those days. Lee Friedlander with your fourth image.
This is like, I was really overwhelmed with trying to find an image from him. He has a book called Family in the Picture. So I spent a lot of time photographing being a mother, which is photographing my kids, photographing my life as a mother, kind of looking through my eyes. And when I got that book, which is like 3 inches thick, it almost read like a novel.
Hmm.
Like you see his wife, he loved his wife so much and he photographed her so much. He photographed his kids, their boyfriends, their spouses, like, and I sort of read that book cover to cover and said, okay, if my life's work is like a fraction of what he's done here, I'm thrilled. Now, Lee Friedlander, you can name any topic and he can make a book on it.
Yeah.
But there is so much like natural love and chaos and all of those things that resonate with me about family and about parenting and relationships with people that are close with you. There are some beautiful images out there that are really idealizing childhood, and that's just not the experience that I've had as a mother. That's not what childhood looks like to me. Childhood looks like this. So trying to take the picture of her and they're talking, hey, you guys, can you stop? Like the guy's serving the water. It's it's chaos, but like good chaos,
Yeah.
a noisy chaos. And I like that he gets that and he's not trying to control it too much. He's just seeing it. It's a really sort of natural way of portraying family and people around you.
Yeah. I know you have the project Charth Vader, that received quite a bit of acclaim, and that has some of I mean, maybe not the same, and it's not taken in the same way, but some of that you were just talking about. Like, I'm just thinking about, there's an image of your son in a bathroom stall with the mask off to the side, and it's like, it's one of those things. That's not an idealized parenting sort of circumstance. That's like, you got to take your kid to the bathroom and you got to have to do
Yeah.
those things. So,
And
so
then they want to sit there and then they want to have a whole conversation with you and their feet don't reach the floor.
and then they need help, and all the
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then I have my next book was called Days and Years, as in the phrase the days are long, the years are short. And that is sort of no Darth Vader mask, just sort of unfiltered parenting, family life. And this to me, you could take any picture of Friedlander's from that book and it's, it's precious to me.
I'll have to admit, I have not looked at that book.
Oh, it's worth looking at.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to have to make an effort to do that. So thank you for showing this, and the story about it as well, and its meaning to you. And we'll finish with Stephen Shore, who we've shown, I think, only one time on this series. And I said to you before we started, he confuses me as a photographer. Not that I don't appreciate it, but so help me with this body of work or this image, and then help me understand Stephen Shore as well.
Yeah, so I don't know if I can that's a big
It's a big.
I'll tell you this piece of Stephen Shore. For me, I was doing Charth Vader, which kind of started off as a lark. Like my third child, Charlie, is funny, and he has always been funny. And he's always been doing funny things in this Charlie Chaplin sort of serious way. So Charth Vader started from showing his grandfather pictures. Charth Vader has a new winter coat. Like Charth Vader stood in the pool today. And I was trying to expand my photography. Like, what else am I photographing? What am I doing? And one thing I think that people often do it really helped me kind of get out of a what am I photographing is just to loosen up and take a picture every 30 minutes. So this is a project that Stephen Shore did where my eyes aren't good enough. I can't see how often he did it, but I think it was every 30 minutes for
Yep.
24 hours, photographed a friend of his. Same guy, what's he doing for 30 minutes? And so I took a little contacts point and shoot. And I set the alarm on my phone, and 30 minutes comes up pretty frequently. Like it's fast. So I would take a picture and just a really factual picture. I'm not trying to compose it. I'm not trying to find the best picture that's around me right then. It was just like I'm sitting at the deli having lunch with my friend Brooke. Click. Like then it turns out there'd be 4 pictures. We really sat at lunch for a long time. But what it got was some of the pictures were interesting.
Yeah.
And sort of as a whole, it was interesting and a weird little, I hate to say, snapshot of my life and where I was and what I was doing. And then I could see in the way that it's hard to see the stuff that you see every day, it's hard to see it as a photographer. It's hard to see it new, right? Everyone loves going on a trip and photographing as you're seeing something new and taking it all in. It's really hard to see your kitchen every day and find out why that's interesting.
Yeah.
But this got me going, and I think I've recommended this to people. I think it's an interesting project, even if you don't end up using it. For me, I got all these pictures and I was like, okay, well, I want to start thinking more about composition or more about lighting, or but I want to take slightly more deliberate pictures, but now I can see what's going on around me in my day, if that makes sense.
It absolutely does. Um, Thank you. That's very cool. So it must have been exhausting.
It was.
I mean, not only for you, but for him, because I was just thinking about he's got to be. I mean,
Yeah.
got to get up. The
Yes. I think which
other
is
guy
why I
was
did it
sleeping.
for 24 hours, not for like 2 weeks.
I wonder if he just took a single image. Do you know that? If it
I
was,
just thought the same thing. I don't know that. It would be interesting to find out because that's really, you're really betting a lot on each image. I mean, just in terms of exposure, like what if one's a black frame? Like what if, I don't know.
well, now I have an excuse to send Stephen Shore an email and ask him on the program.
There you go.
I can ask him. So Ashley Stoll, what a great pleasure to talk to you. Wrote 5 interesting images. Nice to learn more about you than I knew before. Tell us again when the show in Miami is happening at the Leica Gallery,
It starts September 27th, goes through the end of November.
and you'll be down there
I'll be
when?
down there on the 27th. We're going to have a party. We're going to walk around and talk about pictures.
Great.
Maybe we'll drink wine out of small plastic cups.
Bad wine, bad cheese, but I'm sure great photographs. Well, again, thank you for joining us. Pleasure to talk to you, and thank you all for watching The Crit House.